Dr. Joe here, back with Mitch, working on Project 50. Today we're talking about how to get things to transition from in the gym to on the course. So we're going to go through some of the exercises Mitch is doing. We're going to go through some other adjuncts. The ProSENDR, if you're familiar with it, a great tool. Sean Foley is behind development of it, works with David Woods on it, all across the PGA Tour right now. So we're going to talk about how we transition from something like a gym space and bands into something with a club in hand and a tool for training the actual golf swing. One of our first steps when we're trying to retrain anything and get it from gym to course is to make sure we can make that position comfortable. So Mitch is going to take this band, he's going to press straight out front with some tension on it, and he's going to control it back this way. The co-contraction from his shoulder muscles on the outside here is going to help him better get into what is a difficult and uncomfortable position for him with the arm lying across the chest. This is kind of the first step. We're adding activation and co-contraction to make the position comfortable so that we can use some other adjuncts later to attack his nervous system, trying to affect the neuroplasticity piece of the movement so he can retrain his brain to do it comfortably, and to do it effectively. To get Mitch's change in the golf swing, we have to acknowledge two important things. The first being his current shoulder discomfort as he goes into the backswing. So if you see as he goes back, this left arm across the chest motion has been problematic for him, which is why we did that earlier exercise to give him a little bit more movement and a little bit more comfort in that movement. As a secondary piece, he's also had some issues with width of takeaway in the past. So I'm going to let him turn here, and I'm going to let him show you where he used to go with the swing on his takeaway. Kind of that push, that Yankee pulley move to the inside, causing all kinds of problems later. Now, I'm not his golf instructor, so I'm not going to attack that. We're going to leave that to guys like Sean Foley. But what we're going to do is take that position, which is uncomfortable, arm across the chest, trying to create some width in the takeaway. And this ProSENDR is designed to do exactly that. So I'm not going to get into the specifics of how that works because there are better people to explain that. But Mitch knows how it works, has been trained on using it, and what it's going to do is essentially give him a feel. Now, when we say feel, it's kind of a simplified word. When we get into fancy medical jargon, we talk about things like neuroplasticity, how the brain works, how we pattern movement. And this type of thing that gives him a feel usually is going to affect his neuroplasticity. It's going to allow him to make a change and ingrain it. If you haven't, I'd go watch a bunch of videos of Foley, because what he'll talk about, which I find really important, is how we get the body to move and how we train it to move. Because at the end of the day, I can make you as strong as I want in here and as flexible as I want in here, but if you don't have something like a good instructor, a ProSENDR to give feedback, then you're never going to be able to transition it to the golf swing. So that's a huge piece of this. So again, as you see here, Mitch is going to rep this movement over and over until we actually change his brain, and we're going to get him in the right positions of the swing. A quick last piece I want to talk about here that I think is something a lot of us get wrong when we're practicing our golf swing is we're not participating enough in the process. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to have Mitch set up for his swing, and I want him to make his original fall. So he takes it away inside. Now, if I wanted to, I could come in as an instructor and say, no, Mitch, I want you here. This is the position to get in. Here's the problem. Go ahead and go back down. I've now had to make the wrong swing, push into a corrected spot, and now I'm expecting him to have some type of feel for that. There's no participation from him on that. You can't learn without participation. What's great about the ProSENDR is it gives you just enough. It's a training aid. It is to assist him. But he's still got to do the rest of the freaking work. And when he does the rest of the work, he can actually change his brain. He can affect those principles of neuroplasticity and actually learn the movement, as opposed to going to his lesson, me moving him all around wherever I want him, and then him going home, and the second he makes a mistake, not knowing it because I wasn't there to mock him for it and yank his arms into the right position. So it's a fair word of warning that anytime you're practicing this stuff and you want to get it to the course, make sure you're an active participant in your learning. I know everybody loves the 10,000 hour rule. The massive thing left out of that a lot of times is that the 10,000 hour rule was 10,000 hours of focused practice, not just 10,000 hours of practice. So we're going to let him get busy working on that, getting some active practice in. We'll get an update video to you in a few weeks. Him striping balls on the range. Thanks.